In this video, we're going to go over the study guide for the test that is on Friday, December 5th. And the study guide is all on multiplying and dividing fractions. So I'm going to go through all 8 problems, and hopefully you've done these on your own, tried them, see what you can do, and then as you watch me do them, you can say, yep, I did it that way, or there was my mistake, and you can think about it and remember how we've practiced these in class. All right, so let's start with the first one. It's multiplication. It's 3/5 times 1/3. Now, if you like to, you can do some cross-canceling. And cross-canceling means you look at the cross, and if you can reduce those by the same number, you do it. So 3 and 3, I could divide both of those by 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So now I have 1/5 times 1 over 1. And now I just do the problem. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 times 1 is 5. I look at the 1/5. Can I reduce it? No. It's in the simplest form. So my answer is 1/5. Now, if you did that problem without cross-canceling, then you would get 3 times 1 equals 3, 5 times 3 equals 15. Then you have to say, can I reduce this by anything? Can 3 go in here and 3 go in here? Sure can. So I divide this by 3. Do the same to the top and the bottom. And that equals 1, and that equals 5. So I got the same answer, I just reduced it after I multiplied instead of cross-canceling. All right, that's number 1 on the study guide. Let's do number 2. 3/7 times 4/5 equals. Now, I look to say, can I cross anything? 3 and 5, no. 4 and 7, nope, can't do that. So then I just go across. 3 times 4 is 12. 7 times 5 is 35. Now, I know, let's see, 1, all the numbers in this one would be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. I know 12 doesn't go into here, 6 doesn't go into here, 4 doesn't, 3 and 2 can't, so I can't reduce it, so my answer is 12/35. Okay, that's number 2. Let's go to number 3. 3 is where you're taking a whole number, 5, timesing it to a fraction, 2/5. Okay. Now, I want to make sure I'm multiplying and dividing fraction by fraction. And 5 is not a fraction. So how do I make it into a fraction? I put a 1 under it. And then I'm going to rewrite the problem. 5 over 1 times 2 over 5. Then I look, can I cross cancel? 2 and 1, no. 5 and 5, ooh, I could do that. So divide this by 5, this by 5. That gets me 1, and that gets me 1. Then I can rewrite it again. 1 over 1 times 2 over 1. I do the problem. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. Now, I know, and hopefully you know, that when you have a 1 here on the bottom, you can just get rid of it, and your answer is 2. But the other way we do this is when a number is bigger on top, it's going to like topple over. It's going to fall over. So we can't have it like that. We want to have it secure. We want it not to fall over. So when it's like this, we know that we have to do something more before it falls over. The numerator goes in, numerator in, and the denominator goes out door of that. Okay? So then how many 1s go into 2? Well, I can do 2 of them. 2 times 1 is 2. Subtract, and because I get 0 here, I know my answer is 2. All right. Say I didn't do the cross on this one. I just decided to go, I'm going to go right across. I'm going to not cross cancel, I'm going to multiply. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 5 is 5. Okay? And here we see the 10 is bigger. So it's going to fall over. We can't have it fall over. We got to make sure we don't have that. So we put the numerator inside, the denominator outdoors. How many 5s go into 10? 2. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract it, I get 0. This is my answer, 2. All right, that's number 3. Let's do number 4. 4 is a mixed number, 5.5 times 3/4. Now I want to do a fraction times a fraction. This is a mixed number, not a fraction. So I need to convert it to be a fraction. And we know that 2 times 5 is 10 plus 1. So you multiply this, add that. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 1 is 11. And you keep the denominator. Okay? And then you times it by. So I have a nice fraction and a nice fraction. I'm good. Now I can either cross cancel, which I'm looking and I can't do any of that. So I'm just going to go across. 11 times 3, 33. 2 times 4 is 8. 33 over 8. And that's really big. It's going to fall over. We can't have that. So we take our numerator. Oopsie. There we go. Take our numerator. We put it in. And then we take our denominator. Put it out. Okay. So 8 into 3. No. But 8 into 33. I know 8 times 4 is 32. That's pretty close. 8 times 4 is 32. Subtract 3. Okay. I have a remainder. So I know it's not just this whole number. So my answer is, here's my whole number, 4. My remainder is 1. And I go to the denominator. So my answer is 4 and 1/8. Now, I'm going to check it just to make sure I still have the same answer. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 1 is 33. Yep, and then the 8, 8. Perfect. Okay, so 5.5 times 3/4 equals 4 and 1/8. Perfect. All right, let's do another one like that. But this time we have a mixed number times a whole number. So my mixed number is 6 3/4 times 2. All right. I want to put them both into fractions because I have a fraction right here, which is this mixed number. I want to put this into a fraction, and then I have to put this into a fraction because it's fraction times fraction. Okay? 4 times 6 is 24, plus 3, 27. And then I bring my 4 down. And the way I make a whole number into a fraction, so just put a 1 under. 2, 1. Okay. So I have 27 over 4 times 2 over 1. Now as I'm looking at the cross, nothing here. Here, 2 goes into each of these. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So I have 27, 2 times 1, 1. Now, nice and easy to do. 27 times 1, 27. 2 times 1 is 2. Top number is way bigger than the bottom number. It's going to fall over. Let's do some division. 27 divided by 2. 2 goes into 2 one time. 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract that. 0. Bring down my 7. How many times does 2 go into 7? 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract that, leaves me with 1. So now I take my whole number here, 13. I look at my remainder, 1, and my denominator is 2. 13 and a half. And I want to check it. 2 times 13 is 26, plus 1 is 27, and the denominator is 2. 27 over 2 is the same as 13 and 1/2. So I'm good to go there. Okay. I want to do this one without doing the cross canceling too, because I know some people don't like that. So 27 times 2, that's kind of bigger than I can do in my head. So if you ever have one that's bigger than you can do in your head, you come over here and you just do it like this. 7 times 2 is 14. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. 54, okay? So I have 54. 4 times 1 is 4. Now, let me try this one. 54 divided by 4. 54 is a lot bigger than 4, so it's going to topple over. We can't have that. So 4 goes into 5 1 times. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract that out, I get 1. I get 4. 4 goes into that. 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract that out, I get 2. Okay, so now I have 13. And then my remainder is 2 and 4. Okay. But I look at this one, and I see that 2 and a 4 in this fraction. And I want it in the simplest form. And this is an even number, this is an even number. So I'm going to cut them in half. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So my answer is 13 1/2. Make sure you always keep simplifying it. Get it to the simplest. And always show all of your work. When you show all of your work, I'll be able to see what you're doing and the parts you really understand, and maybe the parts you are still struggling with. And if you make a little mistake, I'll see where the mistake is. Okay, and you're going to get some credit for the problem if I see your work. All right, now let's go to division. Division is where we take the second number and flip it, okay? 1/6 divided by 2/9. This is number 6 on your study guide. Now, in class, I was talking about how you keep the same, flip. So this first number I keep the same, 1/6. Then if I want to flip division, the opposite of division, multiplying, and then I want to flip this around. So instead of 2 over 9, I do 9 over 2. And now I'm just to that multiplication problem that we've been working on for the first 5 problems of the study guide. So now I could do some cross, which I see I have a 6 and a 9. I know that 3 goes into each of those. So I'm going to carefully divide each by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay? So now I have 1/2 times 3 over 2. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4. 3/4. This one is smaller than this one. This 4 can hold up 3. It's a proper fraction. It's all good. We don't have to do anything. I can't simplify it anymore. So 3/4 is my answer. Again, let me do this one more time without doing any cross canceling. So 1 times 9 is 9. 6 times 2 is 12. 9/12. But I got to think, can something go into each of these? Well, in 9, I can only have 1, 3, or 9. 9 doesn't go into here. 1 doesn't make sense. So does 3 go into both of these? Let's try. 3, 3. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. 12 divided by 3 equals 4. Same what I got before with the cross canceling. But this time I had to reduce and simplify after I did the multiplication. Don't forget, simplify, 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 and show your work. Okay, we have 2 more problems. Number 7 is 7/12 divided by 2. So now we're doing a fraction divided by a whole number. Just with multiplication, you want to have fraction times fraction. You want to have fraction divided by fraction. So the first thing I do before I do any flipping is I make these both fractions. Just like that. So now I have 7/12 divided by 2/1. So I have 2 fractions. Now I can do my keep or the same. Same, flip, flip. Okay? So the same is here, 7/12. Flip that from division to multiplication. Flip that from 2/1 to 1/2. Now, let's do it. 7 times 1 is 7. 12 times 2 is 24. And I know that with 7, the only numbers that can go into 7 would be 1 and 7. Does 7 go into 24? It does not. So our answer is 7/24. This top number is smaller. 24 can hold it up. It's not going to fall over. So we don't have to do the division method. And we can't simplify it, so we are good to go. All right, last one, number 8. It is a fraction divided by a whole number. The fraction I have is 3/10 divided by 9. All right, first thing I want to do before I do any flipping is I want to make sure I have fraction divided by fraction. 3/10, gonna make this into a fraction, divided by 9/1. Okay? Now I have fraction divided by fraction. Now I can do what I have to do to get it so I can multiply it. So same, flip, flip. Same. Flip that to be that. Flip this to be that. Now I multiply across. This I can't do. This I could cross. So I'm going to do this. I know 3 goes into each of those. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. I'll put it over here. 1/10 times 1, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. 1/3. 1 times 1 is 1. 10 times 3 is 30. So 3/10 divided by 9 is 1/30. Let me do this one more time without the cross. 3 times 1 is 3. 10 times 9 is 90. Then I have to say, can I divide this by anything? And this goes into 3, and 3 goes in there. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 90 divided by 3. You might need to come over here and do something like this. 3 goes into 9. 3 times 3 is 9. Cut that out. Bring my 0 down. How many times does 3 go into 0? 0 times. 0. No numbers left. So my whole number, or my number right here is 30. I get 1/30. Okay. So whenever you're multiplying and dividing fractions, the first thing you want to do is make sure you have a fraction to a fraction. Not a mixed, not a whole. You want fraction, fraction. You're going to multiply the fraction by the fraction, and you're going to divide the fraction by the fraction. Once you have that with division, then you can flip to get it set up to be a multiplication. Okay? We want to take our time. We want to be real careful on our multiplication, and you guys have done a lot of hard work, and I think will be good.